In this video, I am going to be showing you how you can set up 24 GB of RAM and 4 CPU cores VPS free for your entire lifetime. Yes, that is right, for your entire lifetime. You don't need to pay anything for this Oracle Cloud free tier. Oracle is a very big company, so you can really trust their service. If you want to know more about this Oracle Cloud free tier, you can visit these docs. I will make a separate video where I will explain the terms that you should know if you are using this Oracle Cloud free tier. Now, when I started building my virtual machine on Oracle Cloud, I was shocked that there is not a single video on the internet which shows you the total process. If you watch this one single video, you won't need to go for any other resource. I will be making some other supplementary content like which topics you should know about Oracle Cloud free tier, what are micro instances or ARM processors, or what is 3000 OCPU, or what is 18,000 GB hours per month for free. If you are using this free tier, then you should know these technicalities so that you don't go beyond your limits. If you are inside the limits, then you can use it for your lifetime. You won't need to pay anything. I will provide the link of the Q&A video in the description. So in this video, we will make our own virtual machine and use it as a VPS and set up our website on that VPS and run that. So you can follow the steps and you can get your own VPS too. So let's get started. To get started, you need to come to this page. Just Google Oracle Cloud free tier, and the first link here is the link that you need. When you come to this link, click on start for free, then select your country. I live in Bangladesh, so I will select Bangladesh, and then I will be putting my name. Then my email address. This is my email address, and now I have to prove that I am a human. Wow. So let's pick the lions and verify. Then this button will be enabled to verify my email, and I will click on this. Okay, Oracle Cloud has sent a verification link to my email address, so I will be going to my inbox. This is the email that I have got, and I will click verify email. Then I don't need to do anything above because everything here is done. Then I need to give a password. Let's use this password. Okay, confirm password has also been taken. Then company name, this is optional, I am providing my name. Then cloud account name, this is the user ID, so you can keep it default or you can select another one, but my suggestion is you just keep it default. That's fine. Then home region, this is a very important term. Home region means where your files or where your VPS will be stored or hosted. So they have different data centers around the world. You can see they have many data centers. So you can select one of them. I will be selecting US East Ashburn. You can select anyone, whatever you want. Then just click on continue. Now you just need to give the address. My address is Dhaka, Bangladesh. Then my city is also Dhaka. State is also Dhaka. Yes, that is weird, I think. Then my zip code is 1205. Province, that's optional. Then my phone number, I will be providing a phone number. and then continue. Okay, now the important part. You need to add a payment verification method. Yes, that is mandatory because they are also running a business, so they need to know that which clients are actually going to pay them in the future. So they have added this verification method. They only allow credit cards. They don't allow PayPal or prepaid cards. I have tried prepaid card, but that didn't work. So you will need to add a credit card. Okay, so then when you come to the screen, provide your name, first name, last name, address too, though this is not necessary, optional. The Htr marked are mandatory. Then select which type of card you are going to use. I used the Visa one. Then provide the card number and expiration month, expiration year, and CVN. I have just one credit card and I created my account. You just need to provide the card number, month, year, and CVN, and then click on finish. If your card is okay, then Oracle Cloud will automatically set up your account. You won't need to do anything else. When you click the finish button, you will be redirected to this page. You can see that I have got 400 Singaporean dollar in the free trial. This is valid for just the first month. As I was not pushing my limits, so I still have those 400 Singaporean dollars, and after the end of 30 days those credits will also end, but I can still use the always free resources and create the 24 GB RAM and 4 CPU VPS. To create a VPS, just come down here and click on the create a VM instance. You can see that always free is eligible here. There are other resources here also, but now we will be creating a VM instance. Just click on create a VM instance. Then let's give it a name. I will be calling it Ampere because I am going to use the ARM processors. Then you don't need to do anything here. Then placement, you don't need to do anything here also, just leave it default. Then we need to select the image and shape. Image means which operating system we are going to use, and shape means how much RAM and CPU we are going to be using from our free resources. Then I will be selecting canonical Ubuntu here, and the version I want to use is 20.04. I could be using 22.04, but I want to use 20.04 because many softwares still don't support 22.04. So I think it's better to use 20.04. Then just click on select image. Okay, then we need to select the CPU cores. We have two types of CPUs available in the always free resources. One is the Ampere one. You can see that always free is eligible here, and another one is the micro instances where you get 0.48 Gbps of bandwidth and 1 OCPU and 1 GB of memory. But I will be using the Ampere one because here we can use 24 GB of RAM. I will be selecting this, and I want to select 4 CPU cores. You can see that 24 GB of RAM is already selected. Now we just select this shape. You can see that 4 CPU, 24 GB of memory, and 4 Gbps of network bandwidth. That is really huge. You don't need to do anything with the show advanced options. Then just come here in the networking section. Here you also don't need to do anything. For me, Oracle has selected a virtual cloud network that I had created previously. But if you hadn't created any VCN or virtual cloud network, then there will be create new option selected. I thought of showing you both of them because maybe you have played a little bit about Oracle Cloud and created a virtual cloud network. So I thought let's show you both of them. After this, we need to create a SSH key. Just click on save private key and save public key, and this will be done. And then boot volume. Oracle don't allow you to select custom boot volume. The default boot volume is 46.6 GB. That is more than enough for hosting a couple of websites. You can host like 20-30 websites here. Then encrypt this volume with this key. You don't need to do anything here. Then click on create. So Oracle Cloud is provisioning the virtual machine. It will take a few seconds. Meanwhile, let's download Putty. We need Putty to communicate with the virtual machine, which is hosted somewhere else. Just search for Putty download. Then click on the first link. By the way, this is a totally free software to use, so you don't need to think anything. Just click on download Putty and click on Putty 64-bit 0.77 installer.msi. This may take a couple of minutes to download. So our Putty is downloaded, and in the Oracle Cloud we can see that our VM instance is running. That's really great. Now we need to set up a control panel on our VPS that can handle all of the tasks like database and other things. Now we need to do a little bit of networking also. Come here in the networking section and click on virtual cloud networks. Okay, I had already created some virtual cloud networks which I were using before, but we need to know which VCN is our instance is using. So let's again come back to the instances. In the VCN, we can see that we are using the 1535. Let's again go to the networking, then virtual cloud networks, and then 1535. We need this one. Then you need to click on the subnet. So in the subnet, we need to open some ports that we are going to be using. Come to the security list, and here we will be adding the ports. You can see that I have added a lot of ports to my virtual cloud network. For you, port 22 will just be added, and you need to add other ones. I had added these ports for various kinds of reasons, but you don't need to add all of them. You need to add HTTP port 80, HTTPS port 443, then port 21 for FTP, and port number 8083 and 2083. We are going to be using Htr Panel because that's really amazing. I tried double panel, cyber panel, but those are really problematic, but Htr Panel is really great, so we'll be using Htr Panel. So you need to add 4 ports: HTTP, which is port number 80, HTTPS, which is port number 443, and 8083 for Htr Panel, and 2083. This one is also for Htr Panel if you are using it with Cloudflare. To add a port, you just need to click on Add Ingress Rules, then click here 0.0.0.0/0. Then port, I will be showing you port number 80, which is for HTTP, port 80, and then description. This is optional, you can write anything here. I will be writing HTTP. This is like a comment. Then click on Add Ingress Rules. In this same process, you need to add port number 21, port number 80, port number 8083, port number 2083, and port number 443, because this is for HTTPS, because we are going to be using HTTPS in our website. Okay, now let's come to Putty. We have already downloaded Putty, then just install it like any other software. I have already installed it. Then you need to come on here and look for Putty. Here is Putty. Then firstly you need to click on PuttyGen. Okay, then click on conversions, then import key, and we had downloaded 2 keys from Oracle. One is a public key and one is a private key. Then just click on the private key, this one, and then select open. You can see that our key has been imported. Then just click on save private key. Click on yes. I will be naming it Ampere. Then save. Close this. You can see that we have got our .ppk file and we need this. After this, again let's go to Putty and click on, this time click on Putty. Now come to the Oracle Cloud and let's go to the VCN, Virtual Cloud, Compute Instances, and we have this one running, and here you can see that we have got a private IP address. We need this private IP address and then paste it here. And we named our virtual machine Ampere, so we'll be writing Ampere. This is our username of the virtual machine, and then write @. Then click on SSH out, then click on browse and select this private key which we have converted through PuttyGen. Click on open and then again come to sessions and let's save it. We'll be naming this Ampere and then click on save. Click open. If you see this window appearing, then just accept it. This can take a couple of seconds. So there is some problem. Actually, let's close this session and let's open Putty again. And again, then load Ampere, which we created previously, and we need to add Ubuntu here because we have installed Ubuntu, and the IP address will be the public IP address. Let's change this, the public IP address, and save this. And now we can open it. Yes, we have connected to our virtual private server. Now let's see free -m. You can see that we have 23,988 MB of total memory, which is RAM, which is equivalent to 24 GB of RAM, and we have used only 234 MB. So we have successfully created our VPS server. Now we will install Htr Panel on it. To install Htr Panel, we just need to use 3 lines of code. First, we will access the super user. For that, the code is sudo su and then space minus. You can see that the $sign has converted into hash and there is root at the ampere. So now we are the super user. Then I will use another command, which is sudo ufw disable. After you run this command, if you see command not found, then don't worry, that's also fine. We need to use another command which I am pasting here. To paste in this window is really easy. You just copy it and you just right click here and it gets pasted. I will provide the link of the codes in the description box. Let's paste enter, and now I will make the screen a little bigger, and then I have pasted the next code, and here you need to provide your email address that you are going to be using to log into Htr Panel and the password you will use to log in there, and also the address you are going to be using to access that. Like my main website is foldu.com and I want to access Htr Panel at hcp.foldu.com, so I have added it here. Your domain can be abc.com. You will just add hcp.abc.com and then paste enter. We can see that Htr Panel is installing. It will take a couple of minutes to install. I will catch you when it gets installed. You can see that Htr Panel is completely installed. For future references, you should copy these texts. So I am copying this and using Ctrl+C, and then I am pasting it here. Htr Panel has said us that the admin URL is this one. So I will just save it, and again I am going to open Putty, and you can see that here are some arbitrary codes. You don't need to worry about them. I accidentally pressed some key, that's why these errors have come. You don't need to think about that. The next code is this one. We will just enter this. Well, it says vchange system port command not found because we need to reboot the system first. Sudo reboot. Okay, then we just press OK, and our system is rebooting. It can take 30 seconds to 1 minute to reboot the system. We'll just wait for the time, and we close Putty again, and then we again open Putty, and we load ampere, and let's open it. Okay, our system has rebooted successfully. We again need to change to super user, sudo su minus. So we have entered into super user, and then we will paste the code. First, let me just resize the window and we can paste it. Yes, now it is working. Let's just first log into our Htr Panel. So this was our address. So I will just copy it, and then I will come to my browser and paste it here. And we changed the port number 8083 to 2083 because we may sometimes need to use Cloudflare. Cloudflare doesn't support 8083 port, so we changed it to 2083 and then paste just enter. So the connection is on private actually, so just come here and proceed to the IP address. And yes, we have successfully come into our Htr panel. So according to Hestia, the username is admin and the password that we chose. So the username is admin, next, and password, I provided password, and then just log in. Yes, we have successfully logged into our account. So now it is mandatory that you create a user in the Htr panel. So I will just click on add user, then give a username and name, email address, and a password. I have provided all the credentials and I will click on send welcome email, though this is not mandatory. You can skip it and then just click on save. So we have successfully added the user. You can see that here we have 2 users. Now we need to configure the DNS of the domain. Remember, we added hcp.folder.com while we were installing Htr panel. Now we need to configure that domain. I bought that domain from namecheap.com. Namecheap is a renowned hosting and domain provider. Their service is really good. I have been using Namecheap since last year. Their customer service is really impressive. You can knock them anytime and there is a customer support agent always ready for you to give you service. I will just log in into my Namecheap account. If you are planning to buy a domain or hosting, you can get it from Namecheap. I am providing a link below in the description box through which you can find the best offers available on Namecheap. I will also make a video on Namecheap coupon codes and link it in the description. So you can see that I have this domain here. Now I will click on manage and then you can see that I am using custom DNS, but I need to use Namecheap basic DNS. Custom DNS means if you are using Cloudflare or other third-party DNS providers, then you will need to use custom DNS. If you are using Namecheap web hosting, then you will have to use Namecheap web hosting DNS. As I am neither using Namecheap web hosting nor any custom DNS, I will select Namecheap basic DNS and save it. Then you need to go to advanced DNS. Here you can see that I added previously some credentials, so I will delete them. So delete this one, delete this two. So first I will click on add new record. Then we need to write here @. This is for the root and IP address. The IP address is the public IP address. So I will copy it and paste it here and save it. Let's add another A record. Select A record and here I will give the domain name, which is folru.com, and I will provide the IP address here and save it also. And another one is, and we are using HCP subdomain, so we need to add another A record for it, HCP, and we will again paste the IP address here and save it. There is a Cname record, so I will delete it to show you how to add it. So click on add new record, then here you can find the Cname records, paste here www, and so this is for www redirect, and we will paste here foldru.com. You will use your domain name and save. We are done. The system may take a couple of minutes to add these credentials. As per my experience, that Namecheap is very fast in this purpose. It adds it in 1 or 2 minutes. That's why I like Namecheap a lot. Now let's go to Putty and paste this code here. And before you hit enter, make sure that you are a super user. If you are not a super user, then just run this code is sudo su minus. If there is a $sign, then you are a normal user, and if there is a hash sign, then you are a super user. You can see that the last one is a hash sign, so I am in the super user mode and I have pasted this code, and I will hit simply enter. This may take a couple of seconds. The job is done. Now we can access Htr Panel with our domain. So we will now type here hcp.foldru.com is to the port number 2083, and we will hit enter. Bullseye. You can see that our SSL is activated and we can log in with our domain name. I will give the username and the password and hit on login. Now I will log in to the user that we have created. So I am logging into it. Then we will add our domain. So our domain is foldru.com. The IP address is default, and we will just save it. We will go back. Now we will edit it. We will add SSL to this domain also. To add an SSL, we will just click on enable SSL for this domain, and then just select use Let's Encrypt to obtain SSL certificate, and then click on save. This also will take a couple of seconds. So you can see that changes have been saved. Now we will install WordPress on it. To install it, we will click on quick install app, and then we will select WordPress and click on setup. I will provide my name here, my email address here, and click on generate password. I will copy it for further reference and then click on install. This will again take a couple of seconds. You can see that WordPress app was installed successfully. So now if we go to a new tab and type foldru.com, you will see that our WordPress website has been set successfully. Amazing. Hope you have understood how you can set up your VPS and set up WordPress website on it with Htr Panel and Oracle Cloud free tier. If you like this video, click on the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up.